Welcome back. This is the Money Show on ET Now, and this is Wheels Wednesday, a special segment that tells you all you need to know about the cars or bikes that you might want to buy. And in fact, on today's show, we're talking about the cars that you already own. The thing is, at least for me personally, over the course of this pandemic, my poor car has stayed idle more than it has run. And I'm quite worried about the fact that I haven't been taking as good care of it as I should. What are the tips and tricks that I need? I needed a lot of help. So I reached out to Renuka Kirpalani, who is the executive editor at Autocar. And I said, let's do this chat. And she very kindly agreed to help me out. She's got 5 tips for me. Renuka, thank you so much for taking the time. Let's do them one by one. And I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of not taking care of any of the 5 tips. So I'm going to start from today. What's the first tip that you have for me?
So the first tip, I think, is the most obvious one, Alex. If you know your car is going to be parked for a very, very long time, you're not going to use it, try and keep it in a shaded place. So, you avoid excessive sun damage to the exterior or interior, or as in this case, in this season, damage from the rain. And if you haven't already done it, have a nice, rust coating done to your car so that, you prevent it from just getting damaged from sitting idle too long. So that's one of the main tips. Or, if you don't have a shaded place to take it, it's better to just put a cover on it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So covers and just a point in the cover, they say that it shouldn't be too heavy, right? The cover, because when you pull it off, sometimes you can scratch the paint.
Exactly. So, but you get very, very nice nylon covers now. Even, you can buy them off Amazon if you haven't already got it from the car company. Yeah, it should be loose enough to fit nicely over the car, not too tight so you're not yanking and pulling at things. And, remember not to leave it covered and leave that there on too long, because then that will also cause a problem. You will get, things will get molded and damaged. So, yeah, you have to take that cover off. And which brings me, to the fact that you have to also start off that car and run it once a week at least. Because it keeps all the moving. But don't forget, cars is a lot of moving parts. So they need to stay lubricated. They need to stay moving so that they don't get jammed. They don't get caught up. Starting off your car will help you lubricate your engine. Run it around the block, if at all, because that will help your alternator to recharge your battery and prevent your battery from dying. And when you do that, remember to just switch on all the lights, the AC, things like that, because all these parts need to function for them to stay, properly. AC, the filtration needs to be cleaned out. The blower needs to be cleaned out. So, otherwise it all catches mold and fungus, especially in our, hot and humid conditions that we have. So the best thing for all of these things is to keep them running. So once a week, start that car up, take it around the block, give it a good run, and then you can park it back.
So you've already taken me through a couple of those steps. So the first one was obviously keep it in a shaded place, which a lot of people should attempt to do. Keep it running is the second one. You said AC also. Why would you say put the AC on?
See, because if you don't have the air running through the system, a lot of, mold, fungus, microbials, they all get caught in the system. This is all things we're living in a hot, humid city, especially here in Bombay, or, even in other places, there's lots of dust that accumulates. Again, I say that these are functioning parts. You don't switch on something for too long, things tend to get jammed, things tend to stop working, and you won't know that they are not working till you suddenly decide to get into your car one day and then nothing comes on. If you've noticed, if you park your car for a very, very long time and then switch on the AC, you get these musty smell coming out. That's not something you want. So keep it running. You'll avoid all of that. A lot of cars these days come with air purifiers, so you can, have that system on, run it, make sure that the air inside the car also is cleaned out and cleared out.
Yeah. Now, one of the points that you mentioned, Renuka, is to not have your handbrake on. I don't know if I'm old school, but it's almost muscle memory for me where I put the car in first gear and I put the handbrake on and I park the car. But that's a no-no according to you.
Yes, because what happens is if you don't use it for a very, very long time, there's chances of it getting jammed. And then when you release it, you'll suddenly find these, you're reversing the car and you'll hear this big tuck, and then which is not good for your brakes or your wheels or your car. So best is not to leave that handbrake on so that it doesn't get jammed. It's better to, like you said, put it in first gear. Put a small stone or a brick in front of the tires or behind the tires, depending on the way it's parked, so that it doesn't move around. I think that's a safer bet, especially if you're aiming to leave the car idle for a very long time. If you are regularly running it every week or so, it shouldn't really be a problem. But yes, if it's idle for a long time, this is a better bet.
Okay, you mentioned obviously you can't leave stuff inside the car in terms of food and all, and I think that's fairly obvious. Though a lot of us are guilty of doing that, right? Renuka, you completely forget what's in your car.
Yeah.
But I want to also get into what you do if you have a problem with mold, which is quite common in Bombay, or rather
Yeah.
Mumbai, where I mean, irrespective of what you do, it just gets in there. Sometimes if you've dropped something or if rainwater gets in,
Yeah.
how do you manage to get rid of it?
So, there are a lot of deep cleaning services these days. People that even come home and do this for your car, I would suggest doing that if it's a severe problem. Yeah. But to avoid it happening in the first place, there are a lot of sprays that are available in the market now. You can get them off Amazon as well. That's a good bet. Actually, using, mild alcohol wipes once in a while and cleaning down your car is the best thing. So clean the inside of your car, clean all the areas, clean, the sort of divisions between the vents, the AC vents. Keep all those areas, nicks, knacks, corners, where you feel that things can settle in, dust can settle in, mold can settle in. Keep it clean. I think using alcohol, mild alcohol wipes is the best solution right now.
You haven't mentioned this. I think it kind of gets covered in the whole, put your car on and drive it around if you possibly can once in a way. But the
Yeah.
tire pressure, what you have to bear in mind, I would think that you need to move it around so that it doesn't stay in one place and the shape then gets affected, right?
Yeah. So yeah, and but that is if you are really like for months on end, if you don't move your car, that's something that might occur. I think a lot of us are now at least these days getting out and about a little bit, so that kind of helps. But yes, it's always good to, and that's why I keep saying again, drive that car, rotate it, move it around so that the tire is not only in one position. So, the next time around you come and you park it, it might have shifted, it might have changed where you had parked it. So, once one part of the tire will not get completely flat. Also, when you do take it out, if you have a petrol pump around the corner, it's always best to just go there and get the tire pressures checked, because over a period of time, they will lose pressure.
Renuka, absolute pleasure speaking with you. I look forward to doing so again very soon, and I'm sure that I can follow almost all of the tips that you've just mentioned. So, very useful
Great.
conversation.
Great. Let's hope next time I speak to your car's in tip top shape.
Absolutely, I promise. On that note, we're completely out of time on this edition of The Money Show. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you.